Hi everybody, this is Cyber Training 365. I'm joined with Vidya Sekhar. Vidya, it's great to have you back.
Thank you so much.
All right. Actually, we did talk about women in cybersecurity, some of the entry points, some of the how at high school and at middle school they should be joining the cybersecurity field, or at least showing their interest, and how we can get them interested.
Yeah.
When we were talking earlier, there was a very good example which you mentioned, like some from your real life scenario, right?
Oh yeah.
Which
yeah.
I think so a lot of women out there who are in the audience right now would want to know also, and
Yeah.
it's a really relevant example.
So,
can you just explain that to our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do have a colleague, well, a friend, who got married. She got a master's in cybersecurity. She got married, life went on, and she found it so difficult to get into the cybersecurity space, even with her master's,
Oh, wow.
that she's working as a tester right now. And I keep trying to tell her, come on, you can do this. It's really odd to see that somebody has all the qualifications, the education, the ability, and yet is not able to find that role.
So what do you think are the hurdles in that case? Because a lot of and women and men also kind of go through this kind of a scenario.
Yes.
So
yes.
how can somebody kind of counter that, or work their way up?
So I would say one of the most important things is to network a lot in the space, joining some of the organizations that are out there. I know some people are like, oh, the organizations, but it's important just to network, for especially for people you can help. So I like to attend some of these just to see if there's somebody who's struggling to get into the space and they're new, or they have the experience but they haven't found the position yet. Sometimes it's a matter of the resume not being written right. A lot of times the resume just isn't showcasing their abilities to the best of the possibility, right?
I totally, agree with
so
that, because I've seen resumes where
you get tons of them, and you're like looking through them, and sometimes you're just like, why is this person even on my desk? But then you'd have to go all the way down to the bottom to see that there's a master's degree at a really good university in this space. And then you're like, whoa, wait a minute, why are they not working in this space? Where are the skills? Where's the knowledge? But when you bring them in, they have all of that. It's just a badly written resume. So sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's just not having someone to advocate for you. And in that case, it's really important to have mentors. Okay. So having multiple mentors is something I recommend for men and women. I think it's very valuable. I know a lot of men are like, I don't know. But I'll be honest with you, some of the people that are most successful that I know have mentors. And I like to have at least one or two that are in the industry, so I call them my industry mentors. And there are some of them that are in my company, which are my company mentors. Okay. The idea is not only that they meet you and they will allow you to hang out with them and see what their jobs are like and kind of do that kind of thing, but also that if someone asks about you, they are your reference, they are your advocate. Sometimes if you have a mentor that's on your team but a peer to someone you know, then maybe they give a little bit of influence and say, this person's really capable of doing more, right? Sometimes we need that. So
as I hear this a lot, and we got a question also on that based on our last series, was like, how do I, if somebody's like entry level, they just came out of college and school, and they want to get in touch with mentors who are either industry specific or not. Yeah. What is the right way, especially for women, because they are kind of afraid in certain situations of just reaching out to people that they will not even entertain because they don't have any credentials or background, because they're at entry level, they're pretty new.
Well, that's where there's the live events, right? There's a lot of networking events you can attend in every city. There's an ISACA, and there's a ISC squared meetings that are happening. There's volunteering to do something for some people. Like sometimes you volunteer to help out on a nonprofit, and you will run into people that are leaders in the space you want to be in. So look for that kind of thing. Like for example, there's some nonprofits out there where they're working against human trafficking. It's something we all believe in. We hate this forced labor and violence against young people globally. So you can actually help with the cause you believe in. And then there are a lot of, because they're building the apps and they're building the websites and things to try to drive attention, and maybe they're building something special to kind of identify people that might be hurt, right? So that gives you an opportunity to put your passion together with meeting mentors that you can then go with. And you're going to change your mentors over time. So maybe you do an introduction-based mentor to start with, or maybe you do a network-based mentor to start with, and then you start seeing who you want to become one day. You start saying, well, who do I want to be one day? You know, I've told people this sometimes, like some people want to be Mark Rusinovich. I'm like, well, then go talk to him. You know, people are not as out of reach as you think. There are opportunities to shake hands with anyone. There are opportunities to learn from anyone, even if you don't have them as a direct mentor. There's the internet, and they write papers and they put them out there, and they write blogs and they do videos. Go watch them at least, you know. Like, don't not take advantage of what's already available out there, but to get a mentor that will advocate for you, it's somebody you should meet with regularly. It's somebody that you should be very honest about what you like and what you have trouble with and what you need to do better, and ask them to see what they see your gaps as. It's going to be a very honest conversation with someone, so make sure it's somebody that you're comfortable with.
Okay.
And you can definitely try to do that in social media. There's no harm. Maybe you know somebody who knows somebody. Right?
That's true.
And
that's true.
Women aren't bad at that. We're really good at connecting those dots. Like, well, if you need something, we know how to find someone who knows someone. Well, I shouldn't generalize, but it's a common trait.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of help. There's a lot of pull which you know you should basically use. Use you know the social circles. I mean, LinkedIn has a good first degree, second degree, and introduction methodology built in as part of then. Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, how did I meet you? My mentor introduced us.
Exactly,
He was going drinking with you. I was like, all right, I'll tag along.
Yeah, so that's why people get to know. You gotta come out. You gotta reach out to people, and then you gotta be open in asking, and don't feel shy. That people are ready to help, and mentorship is something which is a both way. People gain. If you're a mentee, you will gain, and if you're a mentor, you will gain too.
Definitely, definitely.
And then one thing which I really like is choosing which from experience was choosing mentors from different segments, different areas, which gives a good variety, and especially in your career, you get more choice, more experience,
and perspective,
more guidance, and different perspective.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, that is really cool. Thanks for sharing this particularly very interesting story which you had, and really real life experience out there.
Thank you.
Well, anybody who has some questions, do feel free to reach out to us. You can email us on hello@cybertraining365, and keep the questions coming, and we'll have more information for you in this space too. All right, Vidya, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.